today I'm going to be doing my reaction highlights and my review for Beastars Season 2, Episode 2, and I'm so excited, and look what I found at the store. Can y'all believe this? I found a Beastar shirt in the wild. I'm really happy with it. I love the color. I love how we have, I don't know why Jack's here. No offense to Jack. Like, I love Jack, you know, Jack is great, but I'm a little bit like, he's not really a main character unless that's changing in Season 2, so I don't know why he's there, but we got the squad, and so yeah, I think that that's really nice, really great. And so before I get into it, make sure that you are subscribed so you will get notified when I post a Beastars video. Join the Discord server or follow me on Twitter and my other social medias if you want to get notified as well, or just talk with us about Beastars in our Discord server. We do have a chat for it. And finally, thank you to all the patrons and YouTube membership members for giving me the direct support I need to continue making videos. If you want to support me while getting some cool rewards, the links are down there in the description. Some of the rewards include early access, like to videos like these, as well as my exclusive full-length timer and subtitle reactions to this, and as well as Odd Taxi and some of the other animes that I've done in the past, like Attack on Titan, Shadow's House, all that type of stuff. So, without further ado, this is going to be my reaction highlights to the episode, as well as my review afterwards, and so why don't we just get into it? But Rui is not around, bro. Uh-oh. Whoa, okay, well, this council meeting's getting a little dramatic. Oh my god. Oh no! Oh dear! Oh man, this is like the drama! Uh-oh. Well, I don't think that it's this. I don't think this is the Devourer. I think that's a red herring. Because you would think, oh, the students are, you know, is it possible they could still be devoured, and then this guy pops in? You would think that it's him, but it's not. Oh my god! Oh, see, I was right! It's just his skin! Oh my god! Whoa, but he didn't do it! He didn't kill Tem, okay? You got the wrong guy, bro! He's like, is she just like, can you wait a second? I just need to Legoshi. Oh, so he thinks that's a good thing, though. He knows that Legoshi can be a hero. Is that it? Oh, he is the police. Oh, okay, he's a security guard. He's still the police. Oh, see, Legoshi captivates everybody. What if he can be the Beastar? Oh my god, he knows everything. He knows all the tea. Oh my gosh. Whoa, okay, well that's a little bit. Whoa, bro! Okay, leave Legoshi alone, bro. He's getting, like, constricted. Isn't this bad? know? Maybe Haru should ask. They may talk to her. Well, you could ask him if he saw anything. Oh my god, I love this. I love this so much. This is so, like, oh, I love it here. I love, like, the mystery and our main character trying to uncover the mystery. Damn! Legoshi found a different criminal! Bro, he'll literally fuck you up, okay? He'll fucking fight you, alright? Don't mess with Legoshi! Arrested! The perpetrator has been caught! Okay, well, what about the snake? Is the snake gonna do something about that, bro? Like, who's gonna do something about that now, you know? Yeah, look at Legoshi! Everybody knows he captured the gym clothes feet! Oh my god! Oh, everybody, see, Legoshi's popularity is gonna go up. Oh, see? So he heard about him catching maybe the gym clothes thief, and now he gave him the diary, right? So, like, he knows that Legoshi's a good guy. Legoshi's solving crime. Oh, Legoshi solving crime. Oh, see, Rui encouraged him to continue to be friends with the carnivore, and that's why Rui feels bad, because if he had stayed away from the carnivore, it wouldn't have happened. Oh my god. Oh. Yay! Solving crime. Good job, Legoshi. This looks like the black market. Is that Rui? That person's stepping like Rui for sure. Oh, see, so the ones that were alive were taking orders from Rui, right? So, yeah, he's the boss man now. Like, he's probably so surprised. He's like, a deer? Excuse me, what? Oh, look at his horns. Ah, look at it. Look at his he's just like, look at it. Damn. Oh. A herbivore became the look at him, and he's sitting on the table, and he's like, look at him. Damn. Oh my god. Ah, god damn it. Have you lost your mind, bro? Damn. That's crazy. I love that. But not herbivores and carnivores. Damn. Oh my god. I love him. This is so cool. He's so cool. Rui. Oh my god. I didn't like Rui that much, but now I'm like, Rui. Damn. Oh man. Rui. Damn. Ah. Oh, literally. Bro. Did he just literally... Okay, I get it. That was amazing. Oh my god, hold on. Let me watch the credits, Netflix. Oh my god. That was amazing. That was the best. Wow. Wow. Look at this. Look at this. All right, everybody, let us get into the review. And this episode was fantastic. I loved it. I'm here for it, especially more so the ending, but let's go through everything first. So right here, we get to see some adult designs, which I think is super cool. And they say that this is like the gathering of the leaders of the species and stuff. So we see like a bunch of different people. I think that this group actually is just the headmasters, but then there's like circles and circles and circles. And so I just think that it's really cool. We see like a wolf over here. We see a bunch of different kinds of animals. I think that this is the first time I remember seeing like reptiles and stuff. I love this pigeon lady's design. I just thought that this was super, super cool. But yeah, I think that these are all actually the headmasters, particularly because they're having like a round table discussion and everything. And so they all do this thing where they pluck a piece of their hair and they put, yeah, see, so Cherryton, right? So this is like the subtitle, right? And so they're basically saying, like, such and such school, such and such school, such and such school, Cherryton, right? So I feel like that these are probably the other schools. And I wonder if there are schools that are just for, like, herbivores and carnivores and stuff, right? Because I think that Cherryton is very, like, unique as one of the schools, but I don't remember if that's the case necessarily. So they put their hair in this, like, orb thingy in the middle of the room, and I'm like, is there gonna be like magic or something, or is this like a, you know, symbolism? It could just be a symbolic ceremony, but like seeing this, it looked very like, I don't know, it looked very surreal and magical. So I'm just like, I wonder if this show could get into something pseudo magic-ish, just because, I mean, you have Legoshi smelling all the time, and then the smell kind of like manifests in his brain, you know what I mean, as like him knowing who it belongs to and stuff, but I thought that that was just a representation of his instinct, like not actual magic. But anyway, and so this is apparently the principal, and he is not a very like bold person. Like you see him, he's like sweating over here, and so yeah, they're basically, you know, saying thanks for everyone that gathered. And so I think that this like smaller ring is the schools, while the outer ring are probably like mayors, or just like, I don't know what they would do as like leaders of particular species and stuff, but I don't know, something like that anyway. And so yeah, we get to see a bunch of people in the background as well very soon. And so yeah, not only the school's headmasters, right? So I think that all of the people in this table are the headmasters, but members of all species, big and small. So I thought that this was really cool. And yeah, so he's kind of like, you know, he's doing some gesturing that would indicate that he's nervous, right? The cupping of the neck, we've talked about that in previous anime reactions before. But then you have this guy, and he's just like, listen, let's get straight to the point, okay? Like, you know, stop, you know, being all like flustered, okay? Like, let's just get it together. There hasn't been a Beastar. Oh, we're cut off a little bit, but I guess that's fine. No, let me fix it. All right, guys, I'm a little extra, so I fixed it. Anyway, among the prestigious academies for the past 5 years. And so, are there multiple Beastars? Is that it? Like, there hasn't been a Beastar from Cherryton, but does that mean that every school has a Beastar? And so they're saying that they haven't picked a Beastar in the past 5 years, but is it like his turn to pick a Beastar? Like, is there only one Beastar, or has it been his turn for 5 years and he hasn't picked anyone? That's the only thing that I'm wondering. Like, does every school have their own Beastar or something, you know? And so then the herbivores say, we need a herbivore Beastar, and we get to see some. And hear that, the herbivores are screaming again. And look at these guys' faces. I just thought that that was really interesting. And so they want, like, a herbivore to be the Beastar. But that may not necessarily be what happens, right? Because obviously now they put this whole thing, like, whoever solves the crime will be the Beastar, but that seems like it may be Legoshi. At the same time, I feel like it would be very in character for Legoshi to also like give up his responsibility to someone else, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like that, you know, he could be like, you know, just say that Juno did it, okay? Yeah, you know, like, I feel like that he could basically give up his position and like, but I don't want him to. I want Legoshi to be the Beastar. I feel like it makes sense. He spent all this time being in the shadows. He's the perfect combination of like, you know, parts of Juno and parts of like Rui and stuff. Like, I just want him to be the Beastar. I don't want him to be like all humble and shit, okay? Unless he like somehow gives it to Haru for some reason to make people stop bullying her. Like, otherwise, I want Legoshi to be the Beastar, right? Is it true that Rui, the most promising Beastars candidate, hasn't been attending school? What is he doing now? Of course, I'm hoping for his return to school as well. However, I do not intend to have him back just to appoint him as the Beastar, right? Because obviously, like, you know, he's obviously, like, been gone for some sort of reason, right? Like, I don't want him back just so I can put more responsibility on him, right? And so I really like the principal. With all due respect, these students are still kids. They study hard, they fall in love, contemplate their existence, they, each begin to struggle with their inner instincts. The practice of placing a huge responsibility on a single student, and he basically goes on to say that he never agreed in the first place. So yeah, I just really like to see the designs in the background. Obviously, it's kind of hard to see because everyone's in darkness, but it's kind of nice to see like some of the adult characters and everything. And so then you have like a depiction, I guess, of like Rui, right? The practice of placing a huge responsibility on a single student. It's like almost like, you know, he's hunched over, he's carrying the world on his shoulders type of thing. And so I feel like that was very interesting as a depiction. And yeah, he's basically been against it from the start. A hero isn't something we seek out, they are supposed to be born. Now, I disagree with that, but I think that he doesn't mean born as in inherently from birth, because in the English, so what I did was I watched the episode in Japanese, I watched the episode again to take the screenshots, and then I watched it in English. So in English, they say that they're supposed to be, like, discovered, and I think that that's a much better way to put it. Like, you don't seek out a hero, it's almost like you accidentally stumble across one, right? Like, they say the best leaders are the ones that don't want to be leaders, but have that, quality to them. It's like you can't just pick a student and force them to be a leader. A leader must emerge. Yes, that's what it was. I took this whole course about emergent leaders versus, I don't remember what the opposite was. It was like emergent, like I am versus emergent, right? Or emergent. So E versus I, basically. And the E, I think, was emergent, like, a leader steps forward, whereas the I one was about like a leader is like selected. And so I think that that's basically what he's saying. He didn't mean born as in like born like into the world, like that people have an inherent quality to be leaders, but rather they are like, discovered. They are born in terms of, they rise to the challenge. They bloom. I think that's a better way to explain it than born. Like, you can pick a flower, but is that flower going to bloom? You need to find the flower that is already, in bloom, I guess. So I really like that. Like, a hero should not be selected. A hero should emerge among the populace. And I feel like that's what Legoshi is. So make him the Beastar. I'm gonna be so mad if he's not. If he's not the Beastar, I'm gonna be so pissed. Everyone is a precious student of mine. So that was interesting because I didn't really get that, but he said that in both English and in the subtitle. And so I think basically what he's saying is like none of my I don't think that burden should be placed on any of my students. All my students are precious. All of them are special. So it's hard to select one Beastar. Like somebody has to emerge, I guess is basically what he's saying. Even if they were the perpetrator of the devouring incident, right? So this guy's just going all in. Like this guy's he's going for the throat right here. And so, yeah. And so he's like, uh-oh, good grief. And so that was quite the typical feline laissez-faire style speech. I don't know what that means, but I think it's like, like a bunch of, why don't we look it up? Why don't I not try to interpret what it's saying? The policy of leaving things to take their own course without interfering. So I feel like that's basically saying, like, in this case, it's like, oh yeah, that's like, the typical feline thing to say. Just let things happen instead of doing anything. Like, it's almost like he's saying he's lazy, almost. That's what I sort of, like, got it. It's like, oh, that's a lazy attitude. To just, the pieces will fall where they may. Like, that's sort of the idea, right? Could that very stance have led to the devouring incident? So this man's just getting, like, interrogated, and again, we sort of see, like, now it's just the herbivores. I don't think the carnivores have anything to say until it switches on this screen. And so they're like, oh, the student was an alpaca, right? They're all discussing. The culprit's still on the loose. And then you see kind of the carnivores talk amongst themselves, being like, shit, right? Like, there's conflict, And so I thought that was interesting. According to the police, it was highly unlikely. But what have the police been doing? They haven't been doing shit. Like, I don't see any police. I don't see any police investigating these leads or looking at Tem's diary, okay? Like, the police have been fucking useless. Like, I don't know what they've been doing, but they haven't been doing shit, right? Like, you have the security guard, but it's very, it's very strange to me that they're like, oh, the police think such and such thing, but like, where were the police, bro? The police haven't done anything. And so anyway, we have, it's possible that the Cheriton students are still being faced with the danger of being devoured. And I like this red herring because you have Legoshi here and you're like, oh shit, like is whatever's in the walls of the devourer. Like that's basically the red herring. I knew that it wasn't, but you know what I mean? Like that was what it was trying to bring up basically. It's like, could it be possible the devourer is still within the school? And then you see Legoshi scared. So obviously the red herring is, oh, Legoshi's gonna get devoured. Right? But it's, the police. It's, I guess, not the police. It's a security guard. And so apparently They are called Six Eyes because, as I predicted last episode, very happy with myself, they have this sort of pattern that looks like an eyeball, but very much doesn't. And they're kind of creepy. I'm just gonna say it, they creep me out a little bit. I like their character, but, like, I don't like them getting close to my Legoshi. That's basically what I'm trying to say. Oh, God. Anyway, but you know what I mean? Like, they creeped me out a little bit. But I listened, again, to this episode in English and Japanese, and they kind of have, like, a weird MILF energy that I feel like a lot of people are gonna be like, oh, step on me, Six Eyes, like, and she can't step on you, but you know what I mean? Like, constrict me, Six Eyes. Like, I feel like a lot of people are gonna say that after this, but not me. Like, I'm just not, I don't like it. Anyway. I know everything, and so we actually get to see, like, their face and stuff, right there, and so, they basically, say, I, the one who possesses Six Eyes, have had an eye on you. So they've been, like, you know, spying on him, basically. Continue living a peaceful school life. So see, that's what I said last episode, because Legoshi was like, did I find my life's purpose to live a quiet life? And I was like, no, you didn't. Like, you're not supposed to do that, right? And she's just like, you must be kidding me. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's me. I said that. You know what I mean? Excuse me. Sounds like the laundry's done. This was so funny. Please wait a minute. I love this because Legoshi's just like, listen, I don't want my laundry to get musty, okay? Like, this is very important. I thought that this was hilarious. Facing the snake who proclaims herself his stalker, he's able to jump right back into his own world, and he turned his back to her, so he doesn't, like, see her as a threat, even though she's, like, huge. And again, like, is this to scale? Like, is this legit? Like, are snakes this big? Because I don't know. Like, I'm still a little bit like maybe, though. Maybe. I have seen some pretty big snakes, so maybe, but yeah, I feel like that when everyone else is proportioned seemingly correctly, this was kind of like, oh boy. And so yeah, then she says, just as I thought, the wolf's capacity is expanding infinitely. And in English, they basically talk about, like, oh, the potential, like, Legoshi has so much potential, and I'm like, yeah, somebody else sees it, let's go, right? And so, yeah, this is the creepy part, is like, oh, his limbs, his veins, his fur, his, you know what I mean? But I think that she's analyzing him from, like, a combat perspective. Like, he can be bold, he can be strong, but he can also be, like, precise. It's already reached the realm of art, and so, yeah, she considers him art, right? Who exactly are you? And so, yeah, then we see the security guard hat, obviously. So she's not the police, she's the security guard of the school, right? I don't know if you need to be a police officer to be a security guard, but that is what they say, right? And so, yeah, that's interesting because they're the only security guard too. So I'm like, sis, like, step up security, you know what I mean? Like, somebody's been murdered. You don't want to add some people, but anyway, a security guard. So there was one at our school. So in English, he also says, like, I didn't know we had a security guard, and I'm like, yeah, because none of y'all do shit. You know what I mean? The security guard has not done anything. But anyway, I was at a loss for words to your demon-like brilliance, and so she's talking about the play, and so I'm very surprised that the play has come back, but oh my god, guys, look at Legoshi in the screenshot. Anyway, and so yeah. And so you kind of see, like, her eyeball was actually, like, kind of there all along sort of thing. And I wonder if you go back in episode 1, can you actually see her? Or is this kind of, like, retroactive? Because I think that would be so cool. Not episode 1, like, whatever episode the play was. If you go back to the episode that the play happened in, could you see her? Because that would be so cool. And Legoshi's just kind of like, no, like, you don't understand. I lost control. That was, like, not great, you know? And so, yeah, this is, like, where things get really, like, creepy, in my opinion. Like, the whole, like, I'm sure somebody out there thinks that this is, you know, like, I don't know, maybe some of the guys in our audience, y'all tell me, like, if this is, like, anyway. But, like, for me, I'm just like, no, you know what I mean? And so maybe I just don't relate. I don't get the appeal. Maybe somebody else can, like, explain this to me. But anyway, your actions were all triggered by the promiscuous dwarf rabbit. So this is where things got really weird to me, because this was just overall strange. And so it seems like she knows everything. And yeah, I don't know what to make of the, you know? And so I don't know, but yeah, so in English, she says, like, the cute young face or something, right? And in here it says the little girl-like face. And so I'm just like, why did y'all need to say that? I didn't like that very much, that they had that, and I don't know. I don't even want to go into it. I don't even want to start. But Yeah, she basically says that he's a pervert. In English, they don't say the P word thing. They only say that in the subtitle. And I was just like, I don't know. I don't even want to analyze it, because at first I thought that maybe it meant something else. Like, it didn't mean that, like, literally, like, in the literal sense, but, like, in a different definition, like, more so that I don't even know. I don't even want to talk about it because I don't know. So I'm not even gonna go into it. But at first I had an idea that they didn't mean that, like, literally, but more so, like, in the context of different species, like, within their world. Like, sort of like she was just using that as another word for, like, a deviant, basically. Like, another word for sexual deviant. But I don't want to know. I don't need to know. Anyway, you're the craziest and most wonderful man of this school. And so again, I feel like this is kind of weird. I cannot keep you hidden in the shadows anymore. But I really like this, at least, because this is basically saying, like, hey, you want to, like, stay in the shadows and live a quiet life? That's fucking funny. I don't think so, okay? Because you have potential. For I know your true identity, right? So I feel like that also implies that she probably saw Legoshi do the thing, right? Like, from episode 1, like, the thing with, like, Haru and everything. Like, I feel like that maybe she saw that. She was like, I can see your true potential. I know everything. I know, like, and she says this later, you have an innocent heart, but, like, demonic body and everything, right? And so I feel like that basically sums up Legoshi very well, and that's why I think he should be the Beastar, okay? Anyway, why are you hiding when you're the security guard? And I'm like, that's a great question, sis. And so, yeah, she basically, like, starts to constrict him, and I don't like this again. The shame I feel for my limbless body will haunt me forever. I envy you, right? And so I feel like that's the other thing, is that she sees Legoshi as, like, his man on the ground. Yeah, and I don't know how to feel about the snake thing, like, in between his leg. I don't know about innuendos or anything. I don't know. But I just thought that, like, something about this was kind of weird, and, like, Legoshi's shirt's kind of coming off, so I just don't know. I don't know what to make of, like, this at all. I have no idea. Anyway, what kind of fighting power do they possess? And so then we kind of, like, go, like, out of that. And instead he's like, she's like, oh, what is he doing? Right? Like, what? And then he's consoling her. He's just like, oh, I didn't know that snakes struggle like that. That, like, snakes felt that way. I didn't know that snakes had it so rough, bro. Like, he's just being nice. No, is he trying to console me? And I think that at first I thought she was pissed, but now I understand that she realized that for this very purpose, Legoshi is perfect, right? Just as I thought this young man is one of a kind, right? So I think that basically what happened is she wasn't doing that on purpose, like the whole constricting thing, is she was trying to, like, bait him into a fight, like make him feel like he was in danger. But instead, he decided to comfort her. So it was almost like a test and less of her being creepy. Like, it was still creepy, but, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's a difference between, I guess, if she was doing that on purpose and she was doing that to, like, test him, right? And so I feel like that she actually wanted to fight him and see what he was capable of, but instead he starts to console her, and that shows her. And so I think that she wasn't upset. She was so shocked and so surprised that she realized, yes, my instincts were right. Like, this guy is one of a kind, right? Because instead of fighting her in that dangerous situation, he's just like, oh, I didn't know. I'm so sorry to hear that. If you ever want to talk about it, I'll be right here in the laundry room. Like, that's how he is, right? And I love that for Legoshi, right? And so, yeah, then he starts to chase her all the way to Tem, and now we finally know what she wants. I haven't been able to pin down the culprit for the past 6 months. When spring comes, new students will arrive, which will completely change the school environment. That's so true, because, like, people are gonna graduate, right? Like, there's gonna be a whole thing. When that happens, the murderer may never be caught, right? And you have this influx of new people, like, who knows, right? And so, like, you need to find the murderer, and I love this. I love Detective Legoshi. That was such a good part of this episode. As a fan of yours, I'd like to request an encore. I really, really liked that. You're telling me to find the murderer? Fully utilize your innocent heart and demonic body and think you should be able to pin him down, right? And so I thought that was really nice. And then you see the flowers from Rui, and now we know why Rui continues to visit, because he's the one that encouraged Tem to be friendly with the carnivores and to, like, be equal towards everyone. And that may have gotten him killed. If he, avoided the carnivores, he would have never been killed. Like, I feel like that Rui has, like, guilt or something, right? What is happening? Oh, we're back to I was like, what is this? Okay, yeah, so I think that transferred back. They did a cut back to the people, right? If that's the case, why don't you elect the one who pins down the perpetrator as the Beastar, right? And so I feel like that this is so good because it sets up Legoshi to be the Beastar, but at the same time, I feel like the show is gonna subvert that. I feel like that he's not gonna be the Beastar, right? I feel like that something's gonna happen. I feel like that maybe, like, Legoshi may find the murderer, but then the herbivores are like, but bro, we wanted a herbivore. And so maybe there will be, like, some sort of corruption where it's rigged anyway. Or they say, oh, like, Rui did it, Rui found it, but then Rui's like, nah, that's bullshit, bro. Like, imagine, oh my god, I'm so smart. Imagine this, okay. Legoshi finds the murderer, okay. He takes him to the principal, the murderer's arrested, okay. Legoshi did it, but the headmaster is like, oh no, it's a carnivore, and it's a scary carnivore, that's not good, right? And so then he basically, you know, puts out this propaganda that Rui did it, but then, like, Rui is doing his Beastar speech, okay? And because he doesn't even want to be in the spotlight anymore. So imagine Rui's doing his speech, and he's like, da-da-da-da-da-da-da, you know, like, as the Beastar, like, you know, the Beastar should fight for equality between the herbivores and carnivores, but I regret to tell you that I am not the true Beastar. The people in power are lying to you to push their own agenda. The true Beastar is Legoshi. And then, like, everyone's like, wow! That would be so cool! Isn't that great, right? Like, I feel like that'd be so good, because at first, you would think that that's such a backstab, right? But then you remember that, like, Rui has chosen a different way to fight, so he's gonna just expose the school for, like, rigging it and everything, and then give it to Legoshi, and Legoshi's just like, what's happening? That'd be so cool. Oh my god. But I feel like that, like, this is such, like, an anime idea, if that makes sense. Like, you're basically telling all of the students to suspect each other as the murderer. Like, you know, like, what is this, right? It's, I feel like that is a very anime convenient, like, obviously, and I can suspend my disbelief, but I just don't see how they think this is a good idea. This is like, you know, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, this is like pitting every student against each other. Like, that's crazy. Like, I feel like that this is a psycho idea, if anything. And so, yeah, that's just my opinion on it. I don't know why they think this is a good idea. Because on paper, sure, like, it makes for an exciting concept. But at the same time, like, think about that in reality. Think about, like, if you were like, okay, you know, you can be student council president, but you need to win, like, a pool noodle fight in the schoolyard between you and, like, 1,000 of your classmates. Like, that's how this feels. You're pitting everyone against each other. Is that really a good idea? Or what if they don't announce it? Like, what if they don't say that, but, like, that's, like, if that's the underlying qualification, but they don't say that, I think it's okay. But if they say that, I think that's a problem. You know what I mean? If they announce on the PA system, like, hey, bro, da-da-da-da-da, like, I feel like that would be bad. But if it's just, like, if it's something they keep in their own heads, I guess it's fine, I don't know. So yeah, she basically has already had, like, and collected information, but she wants Legoshi to basically, like, find his own, you know what I mean? Like, because she already has a tainted perspective, but Legoshi has an untainted one. So I feel like that's actually really good, right? Please show us your abilities once again for this school. And I thought that was really nice. And Tem was murdered at night too. Why would he be here, of all places? Could it be a teacher? That's something we haven't considered yet. That'd be fucked. And then we see, I guess this is a kangaroo running at night, and so he's the gym pervert that we hear about right now. And so here's what I'm confused about, is that I thought that this was Ellis talking to her ex-boyfriend, but then she says, like, about introducing them, that it may be difficult because they broke up and they're exes. But I'm like, but y'all are eating lunch together, unless this is some other guy, and I just, like, I can't tell the alpacas apart, because I feel like he's right there. And so that's the only thing I'm confused about, is that, you know, Ellis was like, I'd love to do that for you, but, like, we're exes. So, you know, it's kind of awkward, right? But, like, you're obviously friends. You sit together at lunch. Like, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, anyway, they say that Tem's friend may know something, so that's Carl. And so I'm like, she said that it's awkward with Carl, but is she not eating lunch with Carl? That's what I was confused about. And I love Jack. Jack is just such a good friend. At the beginning of this episode, I had, like, Jack slander. Like, I was like, I don't know why Jack is here, but he's on the shirt. Like, I said that in my opening for this video, and now I have regrets. I'm like, I'm so sorry, Jack. I didn't mean to. You know what I mean? Because Jack is just so nice and, like, helpful. And I thought this was really sweet. Well, I want to try to talk to him, but I'm sure I'll scare him if I approach him too suddenly. I was hoping for someone to connect me to him. And so then he basically points him in Ellis's direction, right? And so maybe that isn't Ellis that he's talking to. Maybe it's somebody else. Because actually, now that I'm like looking at like who he was talking to, let's go back. Let's go all the way back. Okay, so the sheep girl he was talking to wasn't Ellis, because Ellis has horns. That girl didn't have horns. I'm dumb. Okay. Anyway, forget about me. And so yeah, she says that she hasn't talked to him in a while. So that was totally my fault. I'm so sorry. I haven't spoken to him in a while. See, that's where I got confused. I was like, didn't you just have lunch with him, sis? But no, she has horns. The other ones don't have horns. Anyway, but it's about time. But Ellis, Tem, Legoshi, you're the only one who knows about that. So, like, that Tem, you know, liked her and everything. And I love that we get to see, like, the biology stuff. And so I feel like that they go here more than just biology day. Like, biology day is like the required day, if that makes sense. But it seems like that they all hang out here together, like, on the regular, because it's not biology day anymore. That was like yesterday, right? So unless Legoshi was doing the laundry, but no, like, it's the next day now, right? That happened at night. So no, like, they just must hang out here, and I think that that's kind of cool, and I love it. Like, there's like a cardboard cut out of a mountain and some grass and stuff, like, you know what I mean? I just think that's great. And so they think, this is so funny, because they think that they brought Legoshi for, like, muscle, like, you know, you came here to intimidate me after all this time, like, you know, like, he basically thinks that this is about the breakup, like, she brought the wolf for, like, the breakup conflict, and she's like, I moved on already, like, that's not, had nothing to do with that. That was so funny. And look at how, like, she's just trying to be nice, he's just trying to, like, smile, and he's trying to be so, like, yeah, right, like, he's trying to be like, hey, like, yeah, it's just me, you know, I want to ask you about a couple things, like, look at his face, he's so cute, oh my god, I'm just like, oh, this episode's fantastic. So you see, too, with Legoshi's posture, right, like, he's trying to, like, hide his claws, seem very, like, unintimidating, right, and so he's asking, do you know if Tem was involved in any kind of trouble? What? Like, maybe he was arguing with someone, or did he ever go out by himself in the middle of the night? Right, so he has his little notepad, and it's so cute. Even if not by himself, with others. Hey, what are you trying to? And he actually seems receptive to it at first. Like, he says, like, hey, like, what are you trying to do? Or are you trying to? And then he trails off, right? Like, he actually seems receptive to answering. But then the other alpacas are like, bro, like, why do we have to talk to a carnivore? I actually love this girl's design. Oh my god. I didn't know. Okay, so I've always, like, headcanoned, I guess, or whatever, like, my Beastars persona, or whatever, my fursona, if I could have one, I thought that it would be a poodle, because I have straight hair today, but if you guys have seen my other videos, I think my first reaction should have my curly hair, like, what my hair actually looks like. I thought that, like, a poodle would make sense, because that has curls, right? But I didn't know, like, you can do this, and, like, this sheep, like, looks like they have, like, curly, like, wool and stuff, so what if this, I could be an alpaca? Oh my god. Okay, so yeah, that's what I've been thinking about. That's what I thought when I saw her. I was like, that could be me. Anyway, so yeah. Anyway, you knew him better than us. And then they say, like, hold on, just listen, right? So I think that Carl was saying that. I think Carl was trying to say, like, you know, hey guys, like, you know, hear him out or something. But then Legoshi gets nervous. You can see, like, his little, like, sweat drops, right? And then he says, okay, well, do you know if there are any letters? And then you scare us, a diary? How about a diary? And they just slam the door in his face. And I was just like, oh, right. And so they actually say in English, Tem only hung out with drama club people anyway. And I don't know if that's canon or if they were just giving, like, the characters, like, you know, background stuff to say, if that makes sense, because there's, like, a difference, you know what I mean, like, you know, and so, like, sometimes the English dub takes liberties, and you could say, well, is that canon then, like, if the English dub said it, but, like, sometimes it may not be canon to the story in the manga, so I don't know if that's true, but I thought that that was kind of interesting that they said that. And so then, Legoshi sees people running, and he remembers the guy that was running last night, and he actually says it's that guy who was running last night, but he's not actually in this scene, so I think that the subtitle means, oh, like, what about that guy that was running last night? Like, the runners just remind him. Now, I have no idea what's going on here. Like, did Legoshi drink a bunch of fucking energy drinks or something? Like, what is going on? You know, what's going on with that? So anyway, he starts to, like, chase after him, and I think this guy's, like, a kangaroo or something, right? Because he has this big tail, but y'all should tell me, like, what he is. I don't know. And they actually say he's a boxer, right? And so there are kangaroos that, like, you know, like, hit and stuff, right? There are kangaroos that like hit people, I think. And so yeah, I think kangaroo is probably a good estimate or whatever, you know, a good approximation of what it is, right? Or there are other, like, Australian animals like that, but I don't remember. And so, you know, you were running. Were you running this past April? Have you seen anyone suspicious? And he actually does look startled, so I feel like he may know more than he's letting on. Well, I don't remember what I was doing that far in the past, and I'm just like, okay, sir. And then Legoshi's just like, oh, all right, whatever. Is there something else? You're the one stealing the gym clothes from the girls' dorm, and I thought that was so funny, because this guy just has, like, this pouch in his pocket, right? And then he's like, the solution clearly is to fight Legoshi, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know why he thought this, but I guess he's a boxer, right? Like, they say that later. And so I'm just like, I love that his first instinct was like, yeah, you know what'll solve this problem? Is me beating up Legoshi, which if he goes to the principal is even more evidence that I did something wrong. Like, I don't know what his thought process was, but I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if Legoshi showed up bloodied and said, oh yeah, the kangaroo guy did it, and he's been stealing from the girls' locker room, like, how would that help? But yeah, we see Legoshi fight. Look at this face. And so this was just, look at him. Like, this was just a really, like, cool fight scene and stuff. And he pins him. And then I guess he gets caught. And so I guess the security guard probably, like, helped with that and stuff. But yeah, and so he basically neutralizes the gym clothes stealer, and I think that people are talking about that because one of the herbivores, wait, is this anteater a herbivore? I think he is, right? Because he was talking with that guy about like how the chatter amongst the herbivores is like that Haru is promiscuous and whatever, right? Legoshi, I heard you captured the gym clothes thief, see? So now Legoshi's getting recognition. He's getting like recognition for, you know, being helpful and being like cool and stuff, you know what I mean? For being like, you know, justice. Legoshi's bringing justice to like not just herbivores or not just carnivores, but like everyone, all of the girls, right? So I feel like that's really great because you know what I mean? Because they said like Juno represents justice here in a place where there are no herbivores, right? Or yeah, no herbivores. And then you have like Rui, who really like, you know, they wanted him to fight for the herbivores, really. That's what they wanted. So with Juno, it's carnivores. And with Rui, it's herbivores. But look at this scene. You have a carnivore guy, and then you have a herbivore guy, and they're saying, like, oh, yeah, like, Legoshi, like, yeah. And so I feel like that's, like, a metaphor, you know what I mean? Like, you know, like, about how he's appealing to, like, both, right? Like, he's appealing to the herbivores for protecting them, because, you know, he, like, only Legoshi could have captured him. Only a carnivore could have done that with this strength, and so Legoshi used his carnivore strength to, like, stop a pervert that was perving on everyone. On the girls of all, you know, herbivores and carnivores, right? Like, you know, and so I feel like that's really cool. And we almost got to see learning, but then we didn't. I'm like, what do they learn all day? I want to know. Like, let me see class, bro. Right? As soon as the teacher's here, they stop everything. And so Carl gives the diary, and I wonder if that's because Carl was always willing to hear him out, but then they shoot him away, or if it's because it was a favor for finding the gym clothes thief, because his friend, right, the girl that they were talking to, he was talking to Carl about like, oh yeah, somebody's been stealing, you know, the clothes from the locker room, and Carl actually said that guy must have like a pheromone fetish or something, right? Carl said that. So now what I'm thinking is he realized that Legoshi's like a good guy who just wants like justice and stuff, and so I thought that was great. I thought that was so cool. And then you actually see that he is reading, I guess, just like in his room or somewhere. And so, yeah, I think that these are the dorms, which is really interesting. And so I really love this shot, the lighting, it's beautiful. And so, yeah, I guess they have like a very open window, but I'm like, is this not dangerous? Like, you know, not to get dark, but like, you know what I mean? Like, maybe the railing should be a little higher, bro. Like, that's the only thing I could think about when I saw this scene, is that this seems like so unsafe. But anyway, and so he's obviously, like, it seems like that Tem was writing about L's right here, right? And so he's like, I feel bad reading this. We had some juice together again after the club. I never thought I'd be this close to a carnivore. So I feel like that it's the guy, right? Like that guy that was fighting with Rui about like the part. Like I feel like that it's him. I feel like he did it, right? Because like think about it. What if he got close to him because he wanted like the part or whatever? I don't know. But yeah, I don't think it was Bill. Like, I feel like that Bill is, like, connected, but I don't think it was him. Like, I feel like that maybe Bill got the blood from him, but I feel like that little shit is the one that did it. Anyway. Rui talks about coexistence and co-prosperity too. See, so that's why Rui feels bad, because he probably said, like, hey, you know, you should be, like, you know, hanging out with the carnivores sometimes. And, like, Tem took that advice and then Tem died, so that's why he feels bad. I should talk to him more because we're friends, right? And so I feel like that's what happened. And so then Legoshi puts it together, like, why Rui had done this. And so he goes back to, I guess, the lecture room, right? Which is where she has some, like, case files and stuff like that. Like, she has a lot of stuff on the case, and so she says, what is it? I finally understand what you said to me. And I'm like, oh my god. Somebody once told me, Rui, didn't Rui say that? Why don't you take responsibility for your own strength? I don't want his apology to be in vain, right? So it's Rui's apology, that Rui apologized to Tem. He doesn't want his apology to Tem to be in vain. That Rui said that he was sorry, so now Legoshi is going to avenge them, right? So that's why I will capture the culprit with my own hands, and I'm like, yeah, let's go. Then in honor of your determination, the clue is within you, right? And so I feel like that's very interesting, and I feel like that could also have to do with the claws, because think about it, like, think about, like, Bill marking that on his back. Like, what if he realizes that Bill is connected to it somehow, and then Bill tells him, like, where he got the rabbit's blood in the first place? Like, could that be it? Or is it just, like, the clue was inside your heart all along, Legoshi? You know, like, I don't know. Like, it could be either one of those things, right? But who knows what the fuck that means. And then we get, like, the best scene ever. Oh my god. And so, yeah, I've heard you've been going at it lately, but how could you go around offering such a foolish deal, right? And so apparently, like, they're basically offering protection to this turtle guy or something, and oh my god, like, this reveal, like, I kind of knew that, like, Rui was probably leading them, like, that's what I thought or surmised from last episode, but, like, I think that this is so cool to see, like, his shoes across the floor for you to live out your natural lifespan as a turtle, so they threatened him, right? I need you to be in on it, too. Shishigumi, the Shishigumi will do everything to protect you. Just give us half the profit from your business, not a bad deal, eh? So they're basically, like, saying, hey, we'll protect you from, they say that there's a gang of foxes, a gang of jaguars, a gang of lizards, apparently, which is, like, fucked, right? And so, yeah, they basically say, like, hey, we'll protect you from those screwed up bastards, all right? Like, you know, we got ya, bro. It's gonna be fine, right? And so I love all the lion designs, but I do wonder how we got here, because I thought that Legoshi, like, killed most of those people, but I guess he didn't. I guess he just killed, like, the boss, and so Rui came in, and, like, oh, I just realized something. What if this is all because of instinct? What if this has, like, nothing to do? Oh my god, okay. So here's what I understand from all the game theory videos that I watched about the Lion King, okay? I don't know if this is true, but the males will fight over the pride, right? And if the male, like, beats the king lion, basically, or, like, the leader of the pride, then all of, like, the female lions will follow him. Now, obviously, these are all men, right? So you would think that the same wouldn't necessarily apply, but, like, what if that's it? Like, their biological instinct is to follow whoever defeated the boss, and, like, Rui is basically the one that did it because Legoshi did not do the killing blow. Oh my god, that, like, blew my own mind. So what if they're not even following Rui because they particularly want to, but just out of that sort of, like, instinct of, like, oh, well, you know, Rui killed the boss, so technically he's the boss now. Like, sort of, you know, not even, like, pride, but more like, how do you say? I don't know what you call it. Like, not loyalty, principle, out of principle, right? Like, that sort of thing. Like, that's just how it works. If you're strong enough to be the boss, you can, you know, if you're strong enough to kill the boss, you can be the boss, right? And so I feel like that's very interesting. And so I really like this guy. I like the butcher. So I'm guessing he's also a carnivore, but he's just not very strong because he's a turtle, right? And he does have some scars. So I'm basically thinking that what they're saying is, hey, we'll protect you because, you know, it's dangerous out here, right? There's lots of gangs and stuff. A prime example of a screwed up organization is you, Shishigumi, and they're like, no, we changed, right? And yeah, and so I wonder if I go back to season 1, who all these, like, lions were. Because I don't remember, but I think they did kill the boss, right? In any case, there's no speaking to you underlings. Like, there's no point. No point in talking to you. Bring me the boss. And they're like, oh, okay, if you want to talk to the boss. And so I love how they all move out of the way. And this scene was hot. Okay, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this. This was like, I didn't really like Rui, I'll be honest, okay? Like, I didn't dislike him, like, in terms of character. I mean, like, I love Legoshi. I simp for Legoshi. Y'all see Legoshi back there, okay? I fantasize about Legoshi. I think we can be pretty honest with each other, you know? And so, like, Legoshi is, like, pinnacle, king, everything, like, you know, romantic, like, thoughts and whatever. And so with Rui, I never really, like, had any, like, attachment to that. Like, I didn't really think of him in a romantic way or whatever. I know that that sounds kind of weird, but right, like, that's the basis. I didn't really think of Rui, like, romantically, but I thought of Legoshi very, like, romantically, if that makes sense, right? But this scene was actually a little, like, okay, because, like, you have the footsteps, okay? And I think, here's what it is. I think that, like, Rui, he was a bad boy in season 1, but he was kind of, like, a rich bad boy, if that makes sense. Like, he was kind of, like, a social climber bad boy, if that makes sense. Like, I still maintain that he was a bad boy, but he was too much, like, stuck in, like, you know, trying to, like, climb up the ladder to dismantle it and whatever. But now that he's, like, an actual bad boy, he's, like, a vigilante, I'm just like, okay, like, you know what I mean? I'm just like, right? And so, yeah, I just love the walk, and then I love his reaction, too. He's like, good grief, right? He's just like, oh my god, like, what is happening? Then allow me to apologize first. And I love this, because, like, the antlers, like, shine, I think, too. Like, look at that little antler shine. Oh my god. For the Shishigumi's past mistakes. And then you have the thump. Oh my god. This ass thump on the table was everything. This is where I was like, oh my god. Like, this scene has such energy. Like, such raw, like, bad boy energy. And then his hands on the table. Like, this was just very sexy of you, Rui. I'll just say it, okay? And so, yeah, leave the disciplining of these cats to me, the boss, right? So he's basically like, hey, I'm the boss, okay? Yeah, these cats have changed, okay? I'll whip them into shape, like, you know? And so look at this face. Like, I'm just like, damn, Rui, okay? I didn't, you know what I mean? I didn't really think of him like that before, and so I'm just like, okay. Anyway. So the rumors are true. A herbivore has become the boss. So there's already fucking rumors too. Business is tough, right, store owner? So use me, right? And so that's the same attitude he had before, but now it's like different. In order for sales to recover, we need to bring back those hypocrites. So I think basically what he's saying is that, like, carnivores, like, now feel like sorry or something, you know what I mean? So now they're not frequenting the black market as much. I think that that's probably what's going on, right? And so I feel like that, you know, he's basically saying carnivores need forgiveness. They need, like, propaganda, like, oh, but if you go to the black market, that'll stop you from, like, killing actual people. It's a good thing, actually. Like, that's basically what Rui is saying, is that they need to put in motion, like, actually herbivores. It's a good thing for them to go to the black market where they get the bodies from, like, people that are, you know, have died in hospital, like cadavers and stuff, basically. You know, because that's not harming someone that's actually alive. All those people were already dead anyway, so it's fine. Like, that's a way for them to get out their instincts in a healthy way. Like, that's Rui's attitude, right? So he's basically saying, you know, a herbivore needs to encourage that is actually what maintains peace. Now, I advise you to be smart and contribute to the peace of society with the new Shishigumi, right? So he's basically, like, saying that that'll, you know, help for peace. Hold up, before we go any further, have you lost your mind? You're here inside of a deer meat butcher shop, and I'm sure it's not just deer, but, like, still, that's crazy. And I love this, and I love this from Rui, okay? You carnivores are very much mistaken, alright? This world is divided into two types of beasts, and I'm not talking about carnivores and herbivores. I love this line, okay? Two types that are more complex and obvious, winners and losers. And so he's basically saying, like, I'm not a herbivore, okay? Like, I am, but I'm also not, because I'm a winner, and that's the only difference. And I'm like, that was great. And then you have Rui in the car. This world is tainted with lies. As long as herbivores continue to ignore the truth, they'll be devoured no matter what. So I think that maybe has to do with the truth of, like, that carnivores will always crave, like, meat. You know what I mean? As long as we ignore that truth, there will be, like, no peace. But if we can help them get meat in, like, a sustainable way that doesn't hurt anyone, that's how society can have actual peace. I'm going to obtain true strength this time, believing in myself and the wickedness of carnivores. And so he's actually counting on it because he wants to use that in order to create peace. And apparently, this guy is looking at him like he's a meal. Hey, Free, you had that look that said something delicious. Don't you forget, right? And he's like, no, right? And then he just points the gun. So we actually do see like that scene when he killed Boss, I guess, and I guess that's when they decided to follow him. Never forget the pact we made, all right? Right? So I guess it was like, hey, I won't kill you if y'all, I won't kill you if y'all follow me, I guess. And so we actually do see him in the car with Free, and there's a very interesting like end credit special scene going on, but I can't really make anything of it except for the fact that it does seem like they're drinking together. And so I wonder if this is gonna be a case, and this would be so weird, but like his dad was a deer and like adopted him out of being sold. Like that was the whole thing that we found out in season 1, like sold to be like meat and stuff. And so I wonder if like this like lion guy is gonna be like the dad he never had, like sort of like that Guardians line of like, he may be your father but he's not your daddy. Like I wonder if it's gonna be like that, but except it's gonna be this lion guy. Like he thought that this like deer would be his father, but instead it's gonna be this Free guy. Like maybe, I don't know, because they seem like he seems like an older man. He doesn't seem like around Legoshi's age, so I don't think it'll be anything romantic, but rather I feel like it would actually be interesting if this guy's almost like a surrogate father to him, which is weird because it's like your carnivore father was more of a father than your deer father. I don't know. Right? They could go with something like that. And you actually see him here, and he's like, I guess he's confronted by like a deer jaw or something, and like everything blows back, and then he sees like Rui as like Adler, but he's like kind of in this shadow. He doesn't even have like a mouth, it's just eyes. And I think it's very like artistic and very cool, but I don't know what it means in terms of their like relationship or anything, to be perfectly honest with you. And then it's just like he is looking at him in the back of the car. So maybe what it means is like, he wasn't looking at him as a meal. He was looking to him as, like reverent. You know what I mean? He was looking at Rui like someone to idolize. Like maybe that's what the scene's implying, that he's actually, almost fawning over him or idolizing him versus wanting to eat him. What if that's what it means? That we just saw the perspective of Free, right? That he sees him like as a very strong person to be revered, right? And that could be like the key. That could be the difference. And so yeah, that is basically all from me, guys. I'm excited to see what happens next episode, but if I had a wish list, I want to see Rui talk to Haru, because I have no idea what's going on. I want to see if she's still gonna fuck him or not. Okay, we gotta know that. I do want to see the continue of the murder investigation, and that's pretty much it. Like, I'm a very simple girl. I just want the relationship drama, see what's going on and everything. I also want to know, like, whether or not they'll announce, like, the Beastar thing to the whole school about, like, catching the murderer and stuff. And so I guess we'll see. And so, yeah, that is it from me, guys. I hope that you enjoyed my little analysis. I'm super, super happy with how this one turned out. I love this episode. This episode was so cool, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!